Here, welcome back to Ties vs Dies. So today what we're doing is the Mandela Madness and Broken Spine Crossfade. That's what I named this shirt. So hope you enjoy it. So right here we're doing the front of the shirt, the Mandela fold. What you didn't see was the standard mirror fold separating the front and the back of the shirt. So at the beginning of this fold you want to start at the very back end of it, so at the largest section of the 8 sections that you folded equally. The reason you want to do this is because this is going to become your very outer perimeter of your mandala. So keep that in mind. Try to keep your folds as even as possible, and then go ahead and make that initial tie pretty bold, as bold as you possibly can, I guess, within the realm of what's logical and what's acceptable, I suppose. But yeah, so after that you want to start in on these individual little nubs here. Those are at 45-degree angles, so you just 45-degree angle your twine and you just work it all the way up to the end of the shirt, and the end of the shirt will end up being the center of your mandala. So keep that in mind, you know, when it comes to the colors. That's what's going to be your center color, and then you're going to work your way out. So right here we could have stopped right here, and that would have been perfect just as it is right there, with the 8 different little sections. But instead I continued on to add some more detail lines, and you'll see these at the end of the video, and I'll be sure to point it out exactly what I'm doing right here. I'm adding detail lines by cutting each little section into equal sections, and you do that by just cutting it in half again, and you want to keep those lines as well bold. Those are your detail lines. I'm using floss. Floss is really good for this style of fold because of the dye absorption, and just because of the workability. It's really thin, it's really strong, and it leaves really fine detail lines. So, and most importantly, it allows for great dye absorption at the end, and that's really why I am a big believer in it. And so yeah, so just watch along right here. You see me just continuing on with these detail lines, trying to get it looking poppin'. So let's see how it looks. Let's take a look. Alright, so I slowed it down right here, that way you could actually check it out. And this is what it should look like when you're done with it. Each individual turn is one color, and the lines within that are going to be your detail lines. So each turn, each twist and turn, that's going to be an individual color, or you could have the same colors, but just know that that's what the design's usually for. So right here we're going to go with a fan fold for the spine, for the broken spine as I call it, and that's going to be a plaid spine finish. And so what I like to do is fold the shirt in half and then just fan fold the 2 halves all the way up. And when you do a mirror fold initially, it really comes out looking great. Oh yeah, so right here typically when you tie this off you want to go really heavy on those lines, but keep in mind that the top and the bottom, the important sections, are going to be where the folds are. So you could count them. There'll be, you know, 6 or 8 folds on each side. Those are going to be the important sections where you want to apply the dye. You want to keep a color pattern on those, and you'll see me doing that soon enough here. And then be sure to get the dye deep down into these when you are, but right now just focus on tying them. And see, with the floss you could actually get really tight folds, and trust me, it'll get really good absorption. You should try it out, see for yourself. Leave a like, subscribe, or you know, leave it in the comments if you've tried it out before. And right here it's the same thing with the initial mandala. You just get the shirt of the shirt sleeve and you fold it in half towards the corner, bottom corner, and then you tie it at a 45-degree angle. And again, this right here would have been complete as it is. I didn't have to go ahead and put these extra detail lines, but just to show emphasis on the dye absorption and then the qualities of the floss, I went ahead and added a lot of detail lines just so you can see the range in which you could accomplish with doing this type of tie. And so right here I'm doing a scrunch just for the rest of the body of the shirt. This is going to be the body and just the inner portions outside the mandala. And so I like to just scrunch that up and, you know, an even pattern. Try to keep it tight together, that way that fan fold or that mirror fold actually stays together, and it'll leave a really good scrunch pattern at the end of it. And so right here, this is the shirt's tied. Kind of looks cool, right? It looks like a Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons, I think. Let's check it out. Let me know what you think. And so we're going to get onto the dye application right here. And so when applying the dye, you really want to get into these folds, and that pretty much is standard for all different parts of the shirt. You want to go really heavy on the dye, as heavy as you can go. For these spines, I would recommend not doing each section that's tied off individual color. I would try to do a pattern like, you know, the top parts of the fold, do it blue, and the bottom do it purple, or whatever colors, you know, we'll do one blue, one yellow. That way when you open it up, you'll get a really interesting pattern there, and you'll see it once we're done with this dye application. But yeah, so pretty much the point of this is you want to get the dye to soak up into the material until it can't hold any more dye, but you don't want it dripping and wasting dye. So, you know, take a look at the bottom of the shirt right here. See how I'm going pretty heavy on this dye, and there's none dripping out the bottom. So as long as you have a shirt that you soaked and let sit properly, it should be, you know, more or less damp. Let's say 20% damp, 80% dry throughout the shirt, and it'll give you really good absorption. You want it to be like a spongy consistency. And like right here again, look how much dye I'm adding on this. It's I'm going really heavy on it. And then you're going to want to go over each separate section again, just to kind of make sure that each part is fully saturated to get a really good finish. And don't overly concern too much about where you put the dye, just know that it'll look good. And so right here, here's the broken spine. Yeah, see, so that's that color pattern I'm talking about, and I think this looks really cool. Honestly, I was really happy with it. And this is that Mandela Madness, this front 8-star Mandela. And this is how you get that color separation, that really bold line. You could see it around the edge of the Mandela, and you do that by going heavy on the ties. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you watching this. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you learned something. Please like and subscribe again. And thank you for your time. We appreciate it very much, and we will catch you in the next one. And so until then, tie-dye the world, and I'll talk to you later. All right, thank you. Bye.